in addition to living on the Mekong River 3 different times, 3 different places throughout my career, I had some other stories about things I did on the Mekong River that have a special place in my memory. One of them, while I was serving in Vietnam during the war, I took a side trip to Laos and went to Vientiane and then wanted to go up country. So I hitched a ride on an Air America plane and flew up to Luang Prabang. Luang Prabang is the old royal capital. It's got some wonderful old temples, and but it essentially was a market town on the Mekong River and had a lot of Vietnamese influence. There were a lot of Vietnamese there, and I found as I wandered around in the market, I could speak Vietnamese and could do business. So it was interesting. I'd visited the temples there, and I was looking to buy a souvenir. And I stopped in this one particular shop. Shop is maybe too strong a word, kind of a stall, with a thatched roof. And this nice lady was selling souvenirs, and she had something I really wanted to get. But I hadn't changed much money and didn't have very much money, and the price was higher, and I tried bargaining, but didn't work. And I said, I'm so sorry, I really want to buy this, but I just don't have enough money. And so this is, in 1971 or so, and there are no credit cards and in being used or anything like that. So I said, I'm so sorry. And she said, well, do you have a check? So here I'm in this little market town in remote part of Laos. And I said, I have a check, but would you take my check? And she said to me, and I'll never forget this, she said, you're an American, aren't you? And I said, yes. She said, if you're an American, I'll take your check. What a stunning statement. I felt so proud of my country, so proud of the reputation Americans had for honesty, for not cheating people, that this woman in a market in remote parts of Laos would take this piece of paper from me, just my signature, and treat it as money and give me something of value for it. I wrote the check, I gave it to her, I took my souvenir of the trip with me, and I was always looking, in those days you get all the checks sent back to you. And finally, when it came, and I found it a couple of months later, it had all these strange marks on it and marked in Chinese, and I just imagined she gave it to this trader who gave it to another. Somehow it went on a boat to Hong Kong and eventually made it back to my bank in Virginia, suburbs outside Washington, D.C. But what an amazing moment of pride in being an American, standing there in that little village. That woman said, if you're an American, I'll take your check.